A very warm welcome here at 5 things I learned from designing and facilitating workshops of all kinds in different industries, contexts and environments about our creative thinking abilities. My name is Hannelie Venucia and I'm from the Possibility Gap and the Joy Generation. So thank you for being with us here today like this. So the invitation is to sit back and relax and to be comfortable. Relaxing is key to us accessing this incredible inborn abilities that we've all been born with. But before we begin, you can choose your color today. What would you like to color your world in with today? Which color? I've been drawn to this one. You can choose yours. We color in our worlds every day, wherever we go, whether it's the shop, the mall, the office, even if we are at home, we color in our days with how we show up, how we speak, how we approach situations, even all activities, how we approach them in a creative way. We color them in. So you can choose your color for today. Now, before we continue on our journey about my discoveries, let's just quickly look at the word workshop. It comes from way back being used for apprenticeships, for craftsmanships, so creating something. So it's very interesting that we've applied the concept to modern day intellectual discourses, right? Intellectual discoveries and discussions and explorations. It's just a fascinating aspect that really for me is incredible if we go and look at its history and how we've applied it to the Industrial Revolution, for example. And life now after that in the information age, that we can all come together like this and learn from each other. Now, we are joined today by Michelangelo. And Michelangelo has been visiting a market which was selling different kinds and types of marble. And he saw the most beautiful rock in front of a shop. And he inquired inside. And the shopkeeper immediately said to him, "You can have it, take it off my back. It's just been lying here and taking up space for 12 years. Nobody ever inquired about it. You're the first, so please take it. And by the way, I don't see any potential in it either." And Michelangelo took it. And at home he started working on it, and he worked on it for almost a year. And he created what's been considered as one of the most beautiful statues ever made. And after that year, he invited the shopkeeper to his house. And astonished, the shopkeeper looks at this incredible, beautiful statue, and he said, "Where did you get this beautiful marble?" And Michelangelo smiled and he said, "Don't you recognize it? It was that ugly piece of rock that was lying in front of your store, your shop, for 12 years. And the man couldn't believe his eyes. And he said, "What did you think when you saw this ugly rock, that it could become this incredible statue?" And that's key to our creative thinking abilities. It's not like we think about thinking at all. It's about accessing our right brain hemisphere's abilities, our right-minded thinking, so to speak, which is all about imagination, receptivity, our ability to visualize things and envision them, our ability to have passion, our sensuality, our free spirit. It's all aspects of our right brain hemisphere. And that's what Michelangelo accessed. He didn't think at all, not in the way we think about logical thinking, reasoning, strategic thinking, even analytical thinking and the likes. And Michelangelo said, "I didn't think about it. I dreamt about the statue. And when I walked past and I saw this incredibly beautiful rock, I could see the statue. So the statue came out. It spoke to me, so to speak. And all I did was I released the unnecessary parts. So my part was actually very small." And that's how it is with us as well. A lot of us don't see our own creative potential. We don't see our people's creative potential. And like that shopkeeper, we deny it, so to speak. We're completely oblivious about it. having no idea how powerful companion it is to our left brain hemisphere abilities, which we especially need in our world today to solve our dilemmas and to create a better world for all. And a lot of people don't even think they can think creatively or symbolically, and even Jung spoke about that. So the ability to look at specific situation or dilemma from different angles, creative thinking is key to that. I mean, you can use it in any environment, whether it is strategic interventions, an ordinary meeting every day, a conversation with somebody else in a group of people, a discussion, dialogue, even formal and informal training, such as technical and functional training. It's magical what happens when we engage this incredible part of our brains, this inborn ability. We can use it during decision making. Did you know that it's a stress reduction tool? Helping us with our mental health issues such as depression, insecurity, uncertainty, sense making, especially in our world of diversity, inclusion, and equality. Incredibly powerful to bring coherence. But why is it so powerful in that world? That world beyond labels and roles and functions and stereotyping, where we transcend gaps of all kinds, generational, relational, cultural, gender, racial, everything that divides us and separates us, that creates polarities. Our education, our status, our wealth, our personal health, all our preferences, all of that, it transcends all of that. Why? We discovered in all these workshops that we all come onto the same page and we start on a blank page. Because this is not something we have to prove an ability that will be good enough. So there's no credibility about it because it's natural to us. So there's no need for competition, to get approval, to validate ourselves, to impress other people, to explain ourselves, or to please other people. It's magical. Then this vast world of possibility opens up to us. We can explore that on same footing level. There are no hierarchical power struggles going on that we have to fight against. To be seen and heard. Once again, not needed at all. We all play on the same level. And from there we have the ability to expand in all directions. That's why it's so powerful. And it brings people really together. Because it's part of who we are. We've been born like that. And as children, we were so audacious, daring, curious, forever curious, adventurous. We wanted to know how things work. And this is one way to do that, to expand what we already know. And what we discovered is, not only when this inner child comes out, what happens? People come alive. Those aloof people, what some people call introverts, suddenly is on the forefront. They initiate, they take leadership roles. Completely out of their comfort zone of what they're used to, but suddenly they're in charge of everything. It's incredible to watch this and to be observant to this. And the eyes sparkle, and the inner muse and bard come out. They are so creative. And sometimes, yes, there might be resistance or fear, but once that bridge is crossed, there is even no limits. The sky is not even the limits. And we play with the three stooges, the three musketeers. The imagination, the intuition, and inspiration. And inspiration is everywhere, even in technical training, or in a webinar or a conference. Formal learning, for that matter. We only need to be attuned to our environment and be aware of what's going on around us and tap into the vast world of possibility. And suddenly we realize we all have a part to this puzzle that we bring together of our discoveries. And I'm onto something. And you realize something that you discovered that I discovered something that's connected to that. And together they make a whole of a whole team, for example, or a whole organization for that matter, or a whole community. We don't have to compete. It creates something new of whatever we discovered, because it's part of the world out there and the part of the world of possibility. That's why it's igniting such joy for people when they step into this realm, regardless of the situation. And the other beauty about it is that peer-to-peer discovery, cross-pollination. We like to be stimulated. Our minds must be stimulated. It's not there to lie latent in the same way and still like it was before. As we step into this whole new world of possibility through these processes. And that peer-to-peer resourcing, cross-functional, transdisciplinary discoveries, and things come together. Like before, we would never even connect these things together. It's incredible to just be present to that. It's really sacred to be present to that. That's why I love it so much. It's incredible when this creative potential starts flowering through people. And they want to take it back to wherever they are, and then they're very creative for even doing how they're doing that. It's really special. There are so many benefits to engaging our creative thinking in our normal day life. And if you want to hear more about this, of how can you, for example, use it to increase your people's mental health in the current conditions in the world that we live, to become more original, especially in our world of AR, VR, artificial intelligence, machine learning, the metaverse, you name it. Originality is going to be key and a rare skill in the future. Not copy-pasting other people's stuff and imitating them. Key to our well-being and success in the future. We can't deny it anymore. And we've experienced it in so many ways that this just takes us to the next level. And when people feel so self-fulfilled through such experiences, they contribute more. That's why productivity rises. And they become more present to what's going on around them. And yes, like anything else, we can use it for the good or not for the good. It's up to us. But what we discovered is people go beyond self-obsession and the likes during these experiences. That's not about them. You know, those people only want to be heard and seen. They need to talk. They need to be the right in their whatever they say. They need to be right. This disappears. That's where it's becoming such a coherent, aligned, synchronized experience. And then wisdom arises from that. Because all those other barriers that we've created in life disappears. And it's something that's long-lasting. We remember it. It's in ourselves. It's a whole body experience. And especially in the role play. So now embodying what we discovered, which is part of our creative thinking abilities, is that expression of it, the embodying of what we discovered, to know what it feels like. So it's not only a concept anymore. The conceptual and experiential is coming together in a beautiful, incredible relationship and partnership. So if you want to hear more about this, and if you want to exercise those muscles, those creative thinking muscles, maybe you haven't had the opportunity currently to exercise these muscles, so you can exercise it in the safety of your home or your office, so to speak. And we've got a creative thinking toolkit for that purpose that you can download from our website. And you can play with all these different practices and techniques, and you can practically apply it. That's the other wonder that we discovered. Any learning experience, whatever it might be, technical, functional, no matter what, it helps us to make our learnings our own, to expand our awareness and perception, to include it in our daily lives. So applying the wisdom. Why? Because it gives us the opportunity to internalize it, to process it, and to really integrate it into our lives, and to play with whatever we learned in a very different way by accessing our right-minded thinking abilities and our imagination. And then we can purposefully direct it afterwards. So it's not so difficult to integrate back into our lives. And many times we want to introduce the new or a new process or a new system, or a new way of doing things in our organizations, in our teams, in our communities, and the likes. And we struggle with that because it's not a shared purpose. If you want to get others to engage in a shared purpose, use creative thinking. It's magic. People make it their own. That's why it's so powerful. And again, we are all equal. So no need to outshine somebody. We're doing it because it gives us so much joy. So playfulness is key to this. Doing it outside in nature is even more valuable because then we can also access our spatial intelligence. And it helps us to open up our imaginations because we are so used to sitting inside of buildings. Especially during strategic sessions, we sit between four walls usually. And how can you even see what is to come or to have foresight when you are cooped up with four walls, for example? So do something different today. Bring color to your environment in a different way. And these things that we discovered, if you want to explore them together with us, you can reach out to me at hannelie@thepossibilitygap.com. Or else you can also sign up for our newsletter, The Path of the Heart, the monthly one, and you will receive our mini masterclass mystery adventure, Open Sesame, tapping into our creative intelligence as well. We are creative in every single moment, how we show up in life, how we engage, how we approach every activity. So it doesn't become manual, robotic, that it's alive and it's contagious. And other people see the joy in us and they want to experience some of it too. And this is a way for everybody to experience that joy and to have those eyes blink so much and the bodies come alive. You can even see it in the posture. So thank you very much for being with us this week. We're looking forward to seeing you next week. Next week, I'll be sharing 5 things I learned from swimming about our self-regulatory intelligence. Now, you have a wonderful week and bring color to your environment. And take out the crayons, play a little bit, and expand your perception, especially if you have the opportunity to look at any situation from different angles and different perspectives. Goodbye.